Hi, this is Dr. Candace Silva from Rustic Ranch Remedies, and today I wanted to go over how to read an ingredient label on natural and organic skincare products. First, we're seeing here that I have open a browser for INCIdecoder.com. It's a tool that you can use to look up the INCI names of ingredients and search for them and see what they do, and you can also see what products that have those ingredients included in them. So I'll show you how I use this. But first we're going to start off with looking at an ingredient label by a company, Natural Logic, and it's their Rarefy Flawless Complexion Oil, which is a facial oil, and it looks like it's green in color. And down here we can look at the key ingredients, which gives a little bit of information about some of their key ingredients and what they do in the formula. But we're going to really go over this full ingredient list. The ingredients in cosmetic ingredients are listed in order of highest percentage to lowest percentage. So if we look here, this grapeseed oil is going to be the highest percentage of the ingredient in the entire list. And then as we get closer to the end, we'll get to the 1% mark at some point. From that 1% mark, ingredients can be listed in any order. It's good to find that 1% mark because that gives us an idea of the concentrations of the ingredients above it, and also the ingredients that are obviously less than 1%. And there's some clues that we can look at into finding where that is. Ingredients are named in what's called INCI, and INCI stands for International Nomenclature of Cosmetic Ingredients. And with plant material, you're going to find that it's in Latin, the Latin name, and then in parentheses we'll see a common name. Ingredient labels are listed in the INCI so that ingredient labels can be understood across the world. So we're going to start off with this first ingredient, which is grapeseed oil. Then we have hazelnut seed oil, hemp seed oil, jojoba oil, cranberry seed oil, raspberry seed oil, papaya oil, tamanu oil, olive oil, and sunflower seed oil. And this is indicating here that there's an infusion of these herbs that are listed next inside this sunflower seed oil. And that is very common that you'll see. A lot of times it won't be listed quite like this. It won't say that the herbs are infused in this oil. We'll see in some other products how they list them. But this makes it very clear what oil that these herbs are infused in. And what an infusion is these herbs are placed in this oil. They're let to set for a certain amount of time in order for that infusion to happen, and then they're strained out. The herbs are strained out, leaving the infusion of herbs in the oil. So we see here that in this herb infusion we have burdock root, dandelion, chickweed, and calendula. And then next we have an essential oil, which is blue tansy oil. And the last ingredient is rosemary oil CO2 extract. So I'm going to talk about these last two here, the blue tansy oil and the rosemary oil. I know that from studying essential oils that there's dermal limits to essential oils. That means that they are safe up to a certain percentage in a product, and then after that there can be irritations or sensitivities or sensitizations that can happen with using an oil above that amount. It's more common for those side effects to happen at higher amounts. So In facial products, essential oils are typically used at 1% or less, and this is the only essential oil in this product, so I'm guessing that this blue tansy oil is used at around 1% or less. And then this rosemary CO2 extract is going to be quite a bit less than that. It's usually used at about 0.1%. This is the antioxidant that's added to the product in order to increase shelf life. It prevents the oils from oxidizing, so it gives a better stability to the product and allows those oils to stay fresher longer without going rancid. So you'll see a antioxidant when oil is included in a formulation. So that's a pretty simple formula, even though there's a lot of oils used here, and there's also an herb infusion. So that's how we can read that list. Now we're going to go to another product. We're going to go to this product here. This is a nourishing cleansing oil by the company Live Botanical. So we're going to look at this list down here. And we see that there's sunflower seed oil. And this sunflower seed oil, remember I mentioned that companies list things differently when there's herbs infused in the oil. So here's an example of that. These next herbs are infused into the sunflower seed oil. We have lemon balm, lavender flower, and self-heal, rose, and chamomile flower. So that makes up the majority of this product, is this infusion of herbs in this sunflower seed oil. Next we have hemp seed oil, pumpkin seed oil, meadowfoam seed oil, green tea seed oil, and jojoba oil. Then we have this ingredient right here, and it states here that it's a mild emulsifier, but if it didn't state that on the list, we can use the INCI decoder to find out what that is. What is that ingredient? What is it in this formula for? And you can also see other products that include this formula. So we're going to just copy and paste that into the INCI decoder. And here's the ingredient right here. And it says it's an emollient and it's a surfactant in cleansing. So a surfactant, emulsifiers are a surfactant, and what they do is they bind oils and water together. And then this says it's also called chromollient. So that is the trade name for this emulsifier. Then we see here below that there's other products here, and a lot of them are cleansing oils or cleansers that include this product. We're going to go over to this website called Formulator Sample Shop. This is a site where you can purchase skincare ingredients. And we're going to look up just to see a little bit more information about this. So here's listed as chromollient SCE. And we can scroll down and we can have more information here about what it does, what products you can use this ingredient in, and the usage rate. So the use level is between 1 to 25%. UL Prospector. And UL Prospector is a site that is used by formulators and owners of skincare brands and probably distributors and people in the industry to look up ingredients and find the manufacturer and other distributors of ingredients. You need to get an account and have the proper credentials in order to get an account with this, but it's great to have. It's a fantastic resource if you're a formulator or if you're in the industry and qualify for an account. So we're gonna, and you can actually do a little bit of searching on here without an account, but not much. So we just put that ingredient in the search engine, and we find that Chromoleant SCE is made by this company, Croda Inc. And then this is going to just give us more information from the manufacturer about this ingredient. We can look at this document and find more information about this ingredient if we want to. We see that the usage rate is 1 to 5% for surfactant-based systems and 1 to 25% for other applications. And here's listed what the applications are, or what kind of products that this ingredient is used in. And it's going to give us some more scientific studies and information from the manufacturer, and also some formulas that you can use this ingredient in. Okay, we're going to go back to this ingredient list. And so we know this is an emulsifier. So what that does in a product that has all oils and is used as a cleanser, when you put it on your face, you can use it on dry skin, and then when you add water to the product or to your fingers and massage it in, it's going to turn that product into a more milky texture, and it allows the product to be rinsed off without leaving a film of oil on the skin. So it's a nice addition to a cleansing oil for people that want cleansers that have a nice clean rinse off. And then the last ingredient here is the rosemary leaf extract. And this is written differently than the other product, but it's the same thing. It's the antioxidant in this product that gives a better shelf life to the oils. It prevents the oils from going rancid. And then down here, I forgot to mention on the other page, there's a lot of times going to be little symbols and an explanation of what these symbols mean below. So here is just saying that when there's an asterisk, that identifies that ingredient as organic, and then this symbol here is going to identify the ingredient as regionally sourced. We're going to look at a water-based product now. This is also by the company Live Botanical. It is their hyaluronic acid hydrating serum. Hyaluronic acid is a humectant, and it draws moisture and water to it. So that's what makes this a hydrating serum. So down here it's listed that they are now distilling their own green tea hydrosol in-house. And then sourcing notes, the sodium hyaluronic percentage is around 1%, since higher dilutions tend to dry out the skin. That's true. Sometimes the sodium hyaluronic, if it is used at a larger amount and it cannot get the water from the environment, that's what it's drawing. You're trying to draw the moisture from is from the environment. But if you're in arid climates, there's not much moisture in the environment, so it's going to start drawing water and moisture in from the skin itself, and so that's going to be very dehydrating. Okay, so this is a nice and short ingredient list. First ingredient is aloe vera juice. The second ingredient is their green tea hydrosol made in-house, like it listed above. And this next product here is called lactobacillus ferment. We're going to copy and paste that just in case we don't know what that is. It says it's soothing and also a preservative. So this is the preservative in this product. And when you have a water containing product, you want to have a preservative in it for your health and for the safety of the product. You do not want to be putting products on your skin that are not properly preserved. We're going to put that into UL Prospector. Here we go. This is known as Lucidal Liquid PT. And It's giving a lot of information about it. It's saying it's GMO free, and then it's free of these chemicals here. And then the suggested use level is at 2%. Okay. We're going to go back over to the ingredient list. So if this is at 2%, it makes sense that the sodium hyaluronate would be listed after that because it told us that it was at 1%. So this is a really simple formula. There's just aloe vera, hydrosol, a preservative, and the active ingredient, which is sodium hyaluronate. So you can tell by their explanation about why they only used 1% of sodium hyaluronate in their product that there's times where an active ingredient only needs to be in a certain percentage because there's no additional benefit and sometimes a harm if it's used at a higher percent. So just because the active is listed as the last ingredient in the ingredient list does not mean it's not effective. And I think that's a bit of a misnomer that is around if you look at ingredient list and you want to see the active at the top of the list. Because that's a lot of the times not the case. If you do a simple search in the INCI decoder, or if you look at one of the sites like Formulator Sample Shop, put the ingredients in and you can see what their usage level is. And then if that makes sense in the ingredient list. Okay, let's go to the last product we're going to look at. This is a very complex, sophisticated formula, so we're going to spend just a little bit of time just doing some detective work with it. So this is a product by Tata Harper. It's their Reparative Moisturizer, Anti-Aging Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer. And we're going to scroll down here to the ingredient list. I've zoomed it in quite a bit so we could read it a little better. And you can see this is quite a longer list than what we've looked at yet. So we're going to really go in and look at this ingredient list and figure out what's in it. I spent a lot of time looking at this ingredient list. This was the product I chose to use in my coursework at Formula Botanica, which is a natural and organic online school for cosmetic formulation. When I took the advanced diploma in cosmetic sciences, that's one of their diploma courses that they offer at Formula Botanica, this was the product I chose to reverse formulate. So I'm not going to tell you what I found their formula to be, but we're going to just go over it briefly. The first ingredient is aloe leaf juice. That's a water-containing ingredient. Then we have mango seed butter, which is an oil-containing ingredient. So in order for oils and waters to come together, and we also know this is a moisturizer, we need an emulsifier. So we know that this product is going to contain an emulsifier to bring the oil and the water together. We know it's going to contain an antioxidant, and we know it's going to contain a preservative. So the next ingredient here, this is safflower oleosomes. Safflower oleosomes are a pretty cool ingredient because they are not only an emulsifier, but they are a time-released moisturizing ingredient. So they release moisture to the skin over several hours. So it says that it's also called safflower oleosomes. It's an emollient. It stabilizes an emulsion. Okay, so it says in the details that oleosomes are tiny, whiny, micron-sized spheres that store emollient plant oils and some other things. In particular, safflower oleosomes are created from safflower seeds and carry safflower seed oil and vitamin E. So according to the manufacturer, oleosomes work both as natural emulsifiers as well as time-release delivery systems. So they slowly deliver stored emollient plant oil and vitamin E over an extended period of time, giving the skin long-lasting moisture. And then below here, we can see other products that this ingredient is in. So if we really like that ingredient, we can go to this website and find other products that contain this ingredient. So if we're wanting to try a different kind of moisturizer or another kind of product, we can look to see other companies that use this ingredient. So we know that this is a emulsifier, and then we have listed water here. I am guessing that this water is not an added ingredient into this formula, that is part of an extract that's further down the list. A lot of times extracts, when you buy them from the manufacturer, they're in a form of water, glycerin, and the herb, water, propanediol, and the herb, or water and a different kind of solvent and the herb. They can also be in this ingredient here. This is fractionated coconut oil. And so that would be the oil-soluble extracts are typically in this fractionated coconut oil. I don't think that she added this as an independent ingredient in this product. So after the water, we have willow bark extract. And likely that the water and willow bark extract was part of the same extract. So that was an ingredient that was purchased from the supplier. So then we have the fractionated coconut oil, and then we have olive oil. So I know from studying Tata Harper that she infuses her herbs into olive oil. So this is going to be a common ingredient in a lot of her formulas, a lot of her oil-containing formulas. You're going to see this olive oil and then a list of the same herbs. Then we have glycerin here. This is probably not added. It's probably part of the extracts. And then next we have jojoba seed oil. And then we have rose flower water. And then after that we have this chemical name here, cetyl olivate. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. Next we have honey, which is a humectant, so that's bringing moisture to the skin as well. So does glycerin and aloe leaf juice. So this definitely is a hydrating moisturizer, and also very moisturizing with the mango butter and the oleosomes. Okay, and then we have leuconostoc ferment filtrate. We can look that one up too, but I know it's a preservative. I think that Formulator Sample Shop carries it, and if not, I know a different company that does. So let's look to see if this has the same INCI name. Here we have leuconostoc ferment filtrate. So it's used at between 2 and 4%. And it's an EcoCert preservative. So this is right there. So we know that this is around 2 to 4%, so we're not quite at that 1% mark yet. Next we have cocoa seed butter, and then another chemical name, sorbitan olivate. So we'll talk about this with the cetyl olivate in just a minute. Next we have sodium hyaluronate. So we're probably at that 1% mark now, since sodium hyaluronate is used around 1%. And then we have some herbs. And these are infused in that olive oil. We have borage, leaf extract. We have alfalfa, calendula, arnica. And then here we have propanediol, which is a solvent that's used and is also a humectant. Oops. Yep, solvent and a humectant. It's derived from corn sugar, and it's EcoCert approved. So EcoCert is a body that certifies products as being natural and organic, and has their own classification for that. Here we have sodium phytate. Sodium phytate is a chelator. It is used at around 0.1 to 0.2%, and it grabs onto metal ions in the formula, so it keeps the product stable longer, looking the same longer. So sometimes there's a coloring shift that can happen over time, and that's due to the metal ions in the product. So this helps to keep just that color and everything nice and stable. And it also helps with the preservation system. And I know with a lot of the Tata Harper products that she comes at it at very different, a few different angles with her preservation system. So the Leuconos duck ferment filtrate is not the only thing that's preserving this product. It's the main preserver, but willow bark extract actually helps with that because it contains the salicylic acid and then the sodium phytate here. So these things work together in order to keep the product stable and well preserved and safe. Here we have galactorhabinin. It's a polysaccharide from the larch tree. It's a pretty cool product because it not only aids in moisturization, hydration of the skin, but it helps to stabilize the formula, stabilize the emulsion in the formula. And then we have sclerotium gum. This is a viscosity former, so it helps to create a slightly thicker product, and it also helps to stabilize the product. And then we have two more of these chemical names, cetyl palmitate and sorbitan palmitate. So now I'm going to be talking about these other chemical names up here, the cetyl olivate and the sorbitan olivate. So cetyl olivate and sorbitan olivate are the ingredients that make up an emulsifier called Olivem 1000. Olivem 1000 is a combination of these two ingredients. They're not in equal amounts. I can't remember the exact percentage, but cetyl olivate is, let's just guess and say that it is 75% of the formula for Olivem 1000, and the sorbitan olivate would be about 25%. So that's why they're listed at different areas of this formula. And then sorbitan olivate is also an ingredient in this other co-emulsifier along with these other two ingredients right here called Oliwax LC. And again, they're going to be in different percentages. You have to really dig and find that out for yourself, what percentage of each is in the ingredient Oliwax LC. And this is a co-emulsifier, so it just helps the emulsification system of the product, keeping it more stable. And so because this sorbitan olivate is in both Olivem 1000 and Oliwax LC, it's only listed one time because it's listed at its percentage in the entire formulation. So we do not need to repeat the same ingredients over and over again in an ingredient list. It's not necessary. Okay, let's go down here to this next ingredient. This is Lavandula stoichus extract. I probably pronounced that wrong. It's Spanish lavender extract. That's a really cool extract. It helps to give a Botox-like effect to the skin. And then we have this, what this is elderberry extract. And then we have a buck bean flower extract. So after the buck bean flower extract, we see this linden leaf and flower extract. And then we have this extract, which is actually meadowsweet herb extract. So we have listed here aroma, and this is going to be a blend of essential oils. We're able to figure out a little bit more about these aromas, which is a blend of essential oils, by looking at this list I have highlighted right here. What this is sensitizers and allergens that are in essential oils. They have to be listed on the ingredient list when they're above a certain percentage. This is at a percentage of 0.0001 or 0.001% in the formula, depending on whether it's a wash-off product or if it's a leave-on product. So they're in super minute amounts if they're above those amounts that they need to be listed, because certain people are more reactive to these allergens or sensitizers than others. So people can, if you know you're sensitized to one of these ingredients, then you can look to see if products contain them and avoid them if you need to. So these are not ingredients that were added to the product. They are the chemical compounds within essential oils used. But it also gives us a hint of what the essential oils are. In this, we can tell that there's a little bit of citrus, some rose, and Roman chamomile, which I'm guessing. So this moisturizer has the water, oil, it has humectants in it, it has emulsifiers, co-emulsifiers, it has a preservation system, it has stabilizers, and all these extracts. And as you saw, the extracts are more at the end of the list, which is, it's very acceptable because extracts are very potent and they don't need to be at a higher percentage in order to be active and effective. So I think that was a pretty thorough examination of going over an ingredient list. If you do happen to have questions, leave them in the comments below. I will try to answer them for you. So I hope you got something from this video and you learned a little bit about INCI lists and why that they're named that way. And so when you're looking at a skincare product online or in person and you turn over the ingredient list, that you have some resources in order to uncover this formula and see if they contain ingredients that you like and want, and you're avoiding those that you do not want or want to avoid. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave any comments, and what would you like to see in an upcoming video? I will see you in my next video. Bye.